February 8th, 2021 is my 5-year anniversary with doTERRA. So in this video, I just want to riff a little bit about my journey thus far for the last 5 years and my trajectory for the next 5 years. So February 8th, 2016, I sat down with Barrett Isaacson, who introduced me to doTERRA. Thank you, Barrett. I actually sought her out because someone had been talking to me about doTERRA who wasn't a wellness advocate and suggested that I check out this line of oils. I had already been working for many years with another line of oils and several times had tried to give that business some light and heat to actually generate an income and was never able to do that. And I thought, well, this just isn't my thing. But because I had a money need, I was willing to try again. I thought, well, if I try with this second line of oils, see how it goes. And oh my gosh, what a difference it has made. The line of doTERRA essential oils are so pure and so potent, and paired with that, a really legitimate compensation plan has allowed me to take care of that financial need so that I can live the life I really want to. I have a kids yoga teacher training program called Global Family Yoga, and at the time it wasn't quite covering all the bills for both my sister and my mom and myself, the three co-founders of Global Family Yoga, and none of us really wanted to get a day job. I've been able to live independently without being employed most of my adult life. I have worked in restaurants and that other kind of thing, but I haven't really had a salary job most of my life. So I really like to piece together different pieces of income so that I can have that autonomy. That's a super high value of mine, is to have that freedom. And so when I did come to doTERRA, I showed up ready to work and ready to build a business. Oftentimes people get started and they're just using the oils. That's about 85% of our community of wholesale customers are simply using the oils for their own personal use in their family, and that's awesome. However, I showed up ready to do the business. So I was able to move through the ranks pretty quickly. I got to the rank of silver in 7 months, and I reached the rank of gold in 10 months. And the rank of gold is about where we estimate that you can start to replace your income. And so for me, that was where I was like, okay, now I have this solid, steady income, and I'm more free to do the things that I love without that financial pressure. So that's made a big difference for me. So after 10 months, I was able to maintain that rank and have that kind of an income. And you can go and look and see what's the average income for gold, and I'm right there. So I was able to move back to Minneapolis. So moves can sometimes be expensive, and if there's not an extra cushion there, it can be a little bit tricky. And also buy my first house. I'm super excited to be living in my first home, and that's really been a part of my doTERRA income. The income, the financial need, is certainly one piece of it. I like how much I'm able to earn, and I like that I'm able to earn it on my own terms. I'm building my dreams for myself on my schedule, where and when I want, and that's an absolutely high value of mine. And the other part of it is doing work that I love. I love to sit down with someone and hear their needs, their emotional needs, their physical needs, their spiritual needs, and know that we have resources that can totally make a difference in their lives. It's just so empowering to be able to empower others to live a naturally well lifestyle. Most people really don't understand how beneficial these oils are, and they don't understand the difference in quality. So someone's like, oh yeah, peppermint could help a headache, and then they go grab something off the shelf at a store, and it's just not going to have that purity and potency. So they're not going to have a good result, and they're going to think, well, it just doesn't work for me. So my work is my passion, is to let people know, hey, these really do work. Let me show you how. So that feels really good to be able to do something in the world that just makes a difference. So some things I've learned along the way. The first and most important thing is that you really gotta run and jump. You gotta get that momentum going, because to work really hard to get up to a rank like silver or gold, where that income is there due to the structure of your organization. So you're inviting people to use oils. They become customers. You place them in your organization in a certain structure, and that creates bonuses from the company. So there's 5 ways you can earn income with doTERRA, and one of them is simply by the way you structure the volume. And so to work really hard to get to silver or gold, because there's a steady income. If you're working kind of sporadically, like you're giving it some attention and then you get a little bit discouraged and then you back off and then you keep restarting. It's like when you're riding a bike from standing still. It takes a lot of work to get that bike going, but once you're cruising, you can coast. You have to keep pedaling or you'll tip over, but you don't have to pedal nearly as hard once you're up to speed. So I think that's super important that people understand that work really hard to get up to one of those ranks, and then you can coast at one of those ranks. Sometimes you're pedaling a little bit harder because you're going up a hill. Sometimes you're just sailing down a hill. And so I also like that. You're working consistently. That's really, really important to work consistently, but you can kind of let off a little bit and then give a little more effort a little bit. So I like that I can look at my schedule ahead and say, it's August and I want to play outside all day, every day. So I'm going to work a little bit less, but I'm still going to continue to reach out and connect with people and support people because that's what I love to do. And then I could say, okay, now it's February and I'm really going to work hard because this is a great month to get people started with their health goals and that kind of thing. So I can schedule it out and plan ahead when I want to give that kind of effort. But to just to know that I'm consistently doing it. I see so many people who get excited about sharing with others and then they don't give it that consistent effort and then they don't have good results and then they get discouraged. So to know that the faster you go, and it doesn't mean you have to do this for 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. It just means being very consistent and being effective with your efforts makes a huge difference. And this is a legitimate compensation plan. MLMs have a bad reputation because a lot of them just have really crappy compensation plans, and most people actually won't ever make money with that company. The top 1% will make money, and that's true in doTERRA as well. The very, very upper ranks, less than 1% of wellness advocates will ever become a presidential diamond. But thousands and thousands of people can become silver and gold, and if you stick with it, like I am doing, I will reach those higher leadership ranks because I'm just sticking with it. Having that consistent effort is really important too. And then another thing to really realize is that sometimes there's a mismatch between your efforts and your results. And that can also be discouraging if you don't have that longer vision. So I think of it, I used to trek in the Himalayas a lot. I spent a lot of time in Nepal and we would just walk through the mountains. And that's a really big deal. Sometimes we would walk 3 miles and it would take us 6 hours because we would be walking up very steep hills and then down the other side or crossing rivers or whatever that was. But it was always an interesting journey, and some days were challenging. Sometimes it was really muddy or raining, or sometimes those yaks were coming by and you'd have to press yourself up against the wall of the cliff as the yaks went by. So sometimes it was challenging and sometimes it was just so inspiring and amazing. But the journey was just so rich because of the varied terrain, because there was all these different surprises and unexpected challenges and unexpected wonder. It was just really great. So with the doTERRA business, sometimes you're giving it a lot of effort and you don't see the results. You're like, well, what am I doing wrong? And it's just the way things are. And then other times things are just pouring in and there's so much happening and it feels fun. It's like you're going down a slide. And so these two aspects to mindset. One is that this is a long-term journey, and the faster you get up to speed and get yourself to sort of a stable level, the better it's going to be. And to recognize that your efforts don't always match your results in real time. They will come to bear fruit, but not necessarily that day. So we're planting seeds. We're planting seeds on a consistent basis. We don't know which seeds are going to sprout or when. So we just plant with faith. We're farmers. We're building relationships. We're reaching out to people with love, and people will come back to us in their own time when they're ready. And so to have that faith and to have that trust. So that's a bit of a mindset around building a doTERRA business. So for 5 years, I have cruised pretty casually. I'm not working super hard and fast like I was that first year. That first year, I really wanted to make things happen. And for the last 4 years, I've really just been cruising along, and it's been great because I have a steady income coming in because my business is consistent, and I've been able to do it in probably 20 hours a week. Founders of doTERRA are absolutely amazing human beings. I've had the pleasure of meeting and talking with most of them. I've spent a lot of time with Emily Wright and Dave Sterling. We were talking to him in Hawaii, just him and I and Steve, watching whales, talking to David Sterling. He was really open, just like talking to some other vacationer at the resort, and he's one of the founders of doTERRA. He's the guy who created the compensation plan. He's a super genius when it comes to finances. He was so genuine and so kind, a truly good person, and all 7 of the founders are of the same integrity. They just want to do the right thing. The whole purpose of doTERRA, the reason this company came into being, is because they wanted to do good in the world. And so to be a part of that just feels so good. When there's a lot of shady business practices and a lot of people taking advantage for profit, it feels very refreshing and very empowering to be partnered with a company who truly has a higher vision, a higher purpose. And I love to be partnered with them. I love to be aligned with that vision. So it just feels good. I feel very proud to represent the doTERRA line of essential oils. And doTERRA's why is to do the most good while sourcing the best oils in the world. And my why has evolved. So for the first 5 years, it's been about having a steady income that I can control, that I can work where and when I want. Now for the next 5 years, which I'm for sure excited to be involved in doTERRA, I'm just going to give it even more attention than I have in the past, because I've reached a new level of stability in my life. And now I'm ready for that next level. So it's like, okay, let's get ready for the next journey, the next phase of the journey. And so my big why is a retreat center. And this is something that I've been thinking about for a long time. And I let go of it a long time ago when I looked into the logistics and the costs associated with it. And now I realize an upper rank income with doTERRA can fund something like that. So kids can come in and connect with nature and have that plant therapy and have yoga therapy and have dog therapy and have permaculture food forests where kids can forage in the forest for food that they can bring in and have made their lunch, and just all kinds of great things like that. And so to have a really powerful why, a really strong vision, is absolutely crucial, because there's so many things that can pull us off course. You know, we get distracted, we get busy, and if we don't have that clear, strong, long-term vision, we're not going to have the energy that we need to make it. So it's a absolutely wide open opportunity. Every single person has everything it takes to get to the upper ranks in doTERRA. If that's your heart, if that's your vision, you can get there. It's a legitimate opportunity. Most people, however, don't have the faith in themselves or don't fully understand what this is all about. So the other great thing about working with doTERRA, being a wellness advocate, is that personal growth component that's absolutely integral. So they say new level, new devil. So as we grow and as we step into leadership positions and higher income, we're going to meet up with our limitations. And so it's a wonderful opportunity to continue on that personal development course. And that's also something that's really valuable to me. I'm a personal development junkie. I love to continue to study my own human nature and to study others' human nature. I was really into psychology and yoga when I was in 9th grade. It's been a part of my life, my whole life. And so that personal development piece is also super important to me. So it's been really great to reflect on these last 5 years and what I've done to be successful and what I haven't done to be successful. So the only reason I haven't reached an upper rank like Diamond is because I simply haven't done the work. I look at my daily activities and they're not rank advancing activities, they're rank maintaining activities. And that's been my choice for these last several years. And so now I know exactly what to do and how to do it to then reach these next ranks. And so it's just fun to pace out for myself. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. I've got all the resources I need to do it, including somebody to help me with my mental blocks and those kinds of things. And so it's so fun to be on this journey. And you're watching this video because you either know me and you're like, what is she up to? What has she been doing? Or you're partnered with me with doTERRA and you're also going to be on your 5-year and 10-year journey. Or maybe you're just considering, is this something that I would like to do? And if that's the case, definitely reach out to me, and I'd love to just hear your story and share with you more about what I think will be successful for you, because it's really personal. You get to do it how you want to do it. You get to put your personal touch on it and make it yours. So it's like building your own business that you don't have to make a massive investment in. If you wanted to open your own wellness shop, it would cost tens of thousands of dollars to start up. Well, to be a wellness advocate with doTERRA costs $35 to get started, right? There's a monthly purchase that qualifies you for commission, but it's the things you would buy at the store anyways, you're buying that qualifies you for the commission that you can earn as much or as little as you want. Maybe you just want to get your oils paid for every month. Maybe you want to earn $300 to $500 a month to knock off one of those bills. Maybe you want to start to replace your income. Maybe you have a big vision and you want to go for one of those upper ranks and you want to start directing all the money past what you need and what your family needs to doing good in the world. There's such a huge need for doing good in the world, and you get to choose where that goes. And so for me, that's my retreat center, and I'm so excited to welcome you there. My 10-year anniversary video will be shot from this retreat center.